Woody boo, woody boo. Just hanging out doing nothing. Evening, evening, evening. I got nothing going on. But I figured I would jump on here and hang out while I'm doing a whole bunch of nothing. Wah, wah, wah. All right, let's see here. I have some ordering to do. Oh, what do you mean, Kenneth? Nothing's good. Good evening to you, Mr. Troy. Got nothing going on. Figured I'd go live for a little while. Hang out, bullshit, all that fun stuff. Oh, there's channel member Mr. Dave Gatton. We got the dragon in the background. I don't know. I'm gonna look here. I want the dragon to be. We need to shrink this a little bit. We need to be able to see the dragon. Look at that. We need the dragon head. Oh, nothing. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm doing nothing. Nothing's good. Very true. We'll take it. I don't even know if I'm on the right microphone. Let's see here. Uh, yep. Everything's looking all right. I guess I'm kind of doing something. I'm gonna. Oh man. Uh, all right. I gotta run upstairs real quick. I'll be right back. I don't even have anything nice for you to look at. You really can't even see the printer back there. But hold on. I'll be right back. The wife needs water. Oh, hang tight, people. All right, I'm back. Ugh. Thanks for holding down the fort, Kenneth. I appreciate it, buddy. Wife is already in bed and not dressed to be able to go get water without actually having to put something covered up on. So had to do the husbandly duty. Notice it only took a minute. Good times, good times. Kenneth, how you liking the Centauri? Getting any use out of it yet? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, what? Oh, shit, I keep hitting buttons. This thing keeps going sideways on me. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. Come on. Nope, we need to change. This computer is such a piece of garbage. But I'm ordering parts right now. Ordering the parts. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, the great thing is that you can, if you got a print or something, you can set it up and let it rip. It's not like you got to hang around it. Do it overnight. Oh, man. Let's see here. So a while back, Mr. Sean sent me a list of parts that I should get for a computer. And that is what I'm ordering. And I'm thinking that I'm going to do a 3D printed enclosure for it. Case, whatever you want to call it. Oh. Dang. The one, see, I waited. That was bad. Crap. Well, here's the motherboard that I was going to order went up in price by like $20 since yesterday. Oh, man, that sucks. But there is a used one that's the same price as what I was going to pay. I think I will do that. Let's see here. Got that there. And looks like parts will be here next. There's two different I'm hearing the printer head dragging on something over here. But I don't know which. I got the P1S and the A1 running. I don't know which one is dragging on something. I think it was the P1S. Hold on, let me go check. Oh. You know what it is? It's the filament. It wasn't the printer itself. It was the filament. That's good. Let's see here. So, man. See, I don't know anything about computers. That's my big problem with this. Um, I think I'm going to stay with the other one that I was going to get. Just so I can get it all in here and I can have it all by Tuesday. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I don't know anything about them to know if one, how much better one is as opposed to the other. Let's see here. Oh, man. So, did anybody watch the video I put out today? Yeah, don't forget the HDMI cable. Yeah. Thank you. Well, I mean, for that at least, I do have I have like a bin full of them here at the house. So I I do have plenty of HDMI cables here. Um, yeah. So the put out the video today on the big Lego Grogu. He's actually sitting right there right now. Um, and the little one, the original size one, is right there. So, oh yes, Mr. Gatton did watch it. Like the big Lego, yeah. Oh, thanks, John. Appreciate that. Um, I did a short on it too, and the short seems to be doing pretty good as far as in like the viewing of it or whatever. But the video itself, not so much. But I have some things that I really want to do with the big Lego stuff, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it to do it or not for for YouTube purposes. But it would be fun if I do it. Let's see here. Trying to look at this motherboard that Sean was telling me to get and comparing it to this other one. Let's see here. It's all like Guatemalan. I don't know. I don't understand what any of this stuff means. And the only thing I understand is that like the size, I guess. The one is an ATX, and I know that's the size of the motherboard. But I don't know, as far as in specs are concerned, what that means for one's a micro ATX and the other one's an ATX. So the one's a lot smaller than the other. But as far as in actual doing stuff with it, I really don't know. One's $40 more than the other. And one I can get Monday, and the other one will be like another week. 3.2 Gen 2 Wi-Fi 6E. It's got, I guess. Oh, okay, all right. So Bluetooth. I know Bluetooth is. uh, any issue with using Lego in the title? Bricks. No. Interestingly enough, no. For YouTube, no. There's no problem with using the term Lego. However, putting it into like Maker World won't let you use the term Lego at all, like even describing something. What I've found originally when I put up the last video, and I of the helmet holders, and I put those on Maker World. I had put it up as LEG-O, and it let me put it that way. But if I did LEG-0, it wouldn't let me do it that way. But what I did find is that most people that are doing Lego stuff on Maker World will do it L3GO, and that's okay, I guess. So I actually changed the helmet holder one to L3GO, and I don't know if anybody, I doubt anybody's downloaded that model even still, but yeah, it's kind of interesting that they won't let you use the word at all. So they must have gotten a big cease and desist or something from the old Lego folks. So, let's see here. Oh yeah. Oh, John. Yeah, Dave and I were talking about that after the show yesterday. It was interesting. Dave, did you find a U.S. version of it, or was it still all overseas? That was the big thing that we were seeing, is that that program was all overseas, but pretty crazy. But hey, yeah, I'm looking at. So I'm going to order. I think I'm just going to pull the trigger on the. I don't know. All right. If anybody out there has any clue of computers, if you look up MSI Mag 8B550 Tomahawk, that's the one board. And the other one is an MSI B550M Pro VDH. I don't know what that means. But those are the two boards that I'm looking at. I'll put it here in the chat, the names of them, if you want to look at them and see. Oh, it helps if I use the right keyboard. I'm not using the right keyboard. I'm using the one for the garbage laptop that I'm going to replace. Let's see here. MSI B550M Pro DH. Actually, oh no. Oh, actually, we probably can go here. Let's just go here. Aha. I'll pull them up here and then I'll share the screen and you guys can see it. MSI B550. Well, look at that. It pulled right up. There's that one. And here's this other one. I'll have to go back here and look at. Let's see here. MSI. I think. Yeah, that's the one there. All right. Let's see here. So. Yeah, thanks, Jack in the Shop. Yep. Yeah, no, there's no. This is all bullshit. So it's nobody likes the bullshit. All right, I'm gonna see here if it'll let me share my screen. Let's see here. Ah. Let's see here. So here's one of them. This is the one that the Tomahawk Max Wi-Fi gaming motherboard. Yeah. See, I don't know what any of this stuff really means. Blue. Yeah. I mean, it's got. So it's 169. And what's it got here? It supports all the processors. I got a processor here. I have a Ryzen 9 5900X is going to be the processor that I'm using. And yeah, well, let's see here. Memory speed is 6 gigahertz. Yeah, see, like all this crap, I have no idea. It's got 6 USB ports. All right, that's good to know. Let's see here. Came out May 3rd, 2020. So really, it's a 4-year-old motherboard. Looks fancy, though. It's got some slots. Looks fancy. It's got lots of ports. You can do cooling with it. Blah, 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 blah. Dude, $647 for a motherboard. Wow. That's craziness. I can't do that. Yeah. All right. Well, that's one of them. Let's see here. I'm going to get rid of that one. Yes. Remove that. And, only one PCI 16. Yeah, Jack, that I guess I see. Like I said, I don't know anything about any of this stuff. Let's see here. All right. Let me get rid of that one. And this is the other one that we were looking at here. Whoops. Come on. There we go. Add to screen. See, this one's less expensive, which is always a wonderful thing in my brain. And I can get it faster. The downside is I would still not be able to use it because I don't have a case for it yet. We're going to 3D print a case, whatever we end up doing. Let's see here. Let's go down here and look at the specs of this thing. PCI 4.0 Lightning Gen. I don't know. Yeah. It's got audio boost. Oh, isn't that fancy? All right, where's the big pictures of it? Let's see here. So June 20. Yeah, so these two came out, I guess, right around the same time. So that's nice of them, I guess. This one actually has a lot more USB 2 ports. But it doesn't look like it has any of the USB 3, I guess. Let's see here. I don't know. I don't know. One of those two. It's probably going to end up being this one, just because I don't know any better. And they're both B550s, so I don't know. All right, we'll stop the screen sharing because that's what happened? Oh, nope. We gotta get rid of that. There we go. There we go. Oh, is Mr. Sean out there? Yep, there he is. Yep, computers are like race cars. Yep, speed costs money. How fast can you afford to go? I really can't afford to buy it. But you need to be doing this stupid garbage. No. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, Mr. Sean. We were talking about um I was looking at. I'm ordering the parts for my for the computer right now, and I was trying to decide which one of the motherboards that you were talking to me about to get. Either the and because I don't know anything about them, you know, I don't know. All I see is a $30 difference in them, and that I know that they're different size motherboards. But whatever, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Anyway, what's anybody want to talk about? Anybody got anything interesting we should talk about tonight? Sydney Sweeney, by chance? Whew, wow. Mercy. So am I going with the AMD chip? I'm going with a Ryzen 9 5900X AMD. Yes, so AMD chip. I have it here. Ooh, there it is. It's ready to go. The other day we ordered stuff. My son's wanting to build a gaming computer. So this is interesting. His is going to be the guinea pig. So we've ordered all his stuff. Most of it actually showed up today. Everything except for the motherboard, which is the motherboard we ordered for his, is that the $140 one, whatever that, the Tomahawk one. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Sean, we ordered the Tomahawk one for RJ's computer, and all of his parts are, well, the motherboard's supposed to be showing up, I guess, in the next couple of days. So yeah, Jack, we already got the chip. Just need to order all the other goodies to go with it. I don't think for right now, I'm not going to get a graphics card. Just going to run with the graphics card that's built into it, which I know is probably a mistake, but in order to just get up and running and save myself a few bucks right now, I'm not going to be pushing it too hard anyway. But eventually it'll be used for all the nooks and crannies around here. Save all you can on the motherboard and RAM, and go all out on the GPU. Gotcha. So, yeah. So we're building one for my son as well. So he's got a Ryzen 7 something or other, one for his, and we're waiting for the motherboard to come in, and then we're going to start printing some sort of case for his. And Kenneth is asking, have we ever carved stone with a laser or the CNC router? No, I haven't. But I've seen other people do it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Jack's right. Yeah, the stone on the fiber works really well. You can do it with a diode or CO2 too, from what I understand. But I think the fiber works better for it. But I've not tried, so I'm not the authority on that one. You know who would be a really good authority on that to talk to would be Steve and Dave on Sunday nights on their show. That because people ask all kinds of questions, and they're really good about it because they've tested a lot of machines and with a lot of stuff. So, but no, I haven't done stone. I almost was going to try Corian at one point. But then I don't know what happened. I ended up not getting the piece of Corian or something. I can't remember. I know I never got the piece of Corian, but I don't know if that's why I didn't do it, or if it's just that I chose not to buy the piece of Corian. I don't remember, so it doesn't matter. Whoo! 100-watt JPT fiber laser. Nice. That thing will put a hurting. That's pretty sweet. But yeah, not a whole lot going on tonight. Had fun with the Grogu video. Anybody that actually watched that, it took place in I was printing in 3 different places, or not printing, or at least working on it in 3 different places. So I started printing stuff here at the house, and then we went to South Carolina for those couple weeks, and so I took my son's A1 down there, and yes, Steve Venturi, Venturi Steve, as I like to call him. Yeah, I took it down there and had it printing pretty nonstop the whole time I was down there. Until it was kind of funny though, because like in the video I mentioned about how I ran out of filament, and I ran out of filament, and 20 minutes later I walked outside, and my delivery of filament was there. And I was like, hey, there you go. I guess we're back up and running. So that was kind of funny because it was a Sunday and it wasn't supposed to be there until Monday because it was being delivered by regular mail. And all the stuff said, hey, it's coming tomorrow. So I was like, oh, sweet. I expected just to lose that piece. I figured it would come off the bed or something like that, but it was fine, and it was only 20 minutes, so that worked out pretty well. The P1S is going to actually stop here pretty shortly. It's got, look, I can see 2 windings of filament on there right now, so that'll be kicking off here pretty soon. Mr. Sean is now a member of the site, of the channel. Well, thank you, Mr. Sean. That's very kind of you. Very kind of you. He's a current member of the Pink Pony Club, along with Dave and JR. They are the channel members. What is it, like? What is it, $2.50 or $3 or something like that? I put on there, Sean. Yeah, it's just something silly to be a member on the site, and hopefully, if I remember when I do videos, I put it in the video. I did forget to do that for the Grogu video, which kind of irritated me after I uploaded it. I was like, oh no, I forgot. But I will have to make up for that on the next one, which is what we're printing here, is some stuff for the next video that will come out next week. We're going to do another. I think it's going to be another one of those 5 things ones. I haven't had a chance. We were talking on the Making It Up As We Go show not last week, but the week before, about the collets, doing the 3D printed collet. $2.99. Oh, thank you. Oh, look at that. We have all channel members watching the garbage tonight. That's very kind of you guys. Thank you. Yeah, moral support. Yeah. And but anyway, so we lost where I was at. Yeah, so the next video I'm going to do another one of the 5 things videos. And so that's what we're printing out right now. And as you can see on the P1S right above my head, that one's a big one. So that's a good size print there. Yeah, the gang is all here. I mean, this could be considered a member a member show. So yeah. 94 more members and you should give me the GPU. Yeah, that's right, Sean. But that's more than half the video views I get on most of the video. So I need script ideas for a theme. I'm thinking 2 woodworkers, 1 circuit breaker. Yes. There you go. Yeah, like 2 girls, 1 cup. Yeah. Oh man, what was I watching yesterday or the day before? This car YouTuber guy. His name's 100% Jake, and Wichita, Kansas has an insane amount of car YouTubers in it. There's a lot of really big automotive YouTubers in Wichita, Kansas. It's kind of a hotbed. And that's where 100% Jake is at. He actually does some camera work and some other stuff for Hoovie's Garage. And anyway, so he does his own channel. But the video that he was doing the other day, it was on a go-kart that they did a battery conversion to, or electric conversion. And he was like, had it on the charger, had the battery on the charger, and it tripped everything. And so he went to go find out. Turns out the whole garage was on 120 amp breaker. So the sub panel that was in the garage had a like 5 or 6 breakers on it. But when you followed that back to the house, it was it was all off of a 20 amp breaker. So, what a mess. So, hey Jack, I appreciate you watching. That's more than I can ask for anyway. So I appreciate it, buddy. Please don't fret, for sure. Yeah, power bills are ridiculous these days. I've gotten a call from one of my customers, and a guy might be a customer, and his has gone from like $200 a month to over $500 a month because the rates have gone skyrocketing around here. It's pretty crazy. So pretty nutty. So I get it completely. I actually need to add more solar here to the house. I have the panels, I have everything to do it. I just need to get out there and put them on. So I have enough to actually zero us out here, which needs to happen. But got to have time and not be 150 degrees on the roof. So, yeah. Oh, interesting thing about a solar thing. So, before we lived here, when we built this house coming up on 8-9 years ago, something like that, we had a townhouse in Hagerstown, and I put solar on it. and we had sold the townhouse to this family and all that. And I actually got a call from that guy today because they have now sold it and are moving to another house in the same neighborhood, like a house in that same neighborhood. So that was pretty wild. They and had that the most of the houses in the neighborhood were sitting, but theirs were sold in 2 weeks, and he credited the solar because of that, which is the same reason why I credited us selling it in about 2 weeks originally. Was that we had gotten, but he had made quite a bit on that house. So, ay, ay, ay. So, wife wants me to take the dog out, but I'll take her out in a little bit. Oh, let's see here. Was Jack saying here about 3 years ago bought a 30-watt Racus. Wasn't happy with the power, so a few months later rebuilt it with a 100-watt. Woo! 48-volt power supply. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, when there's no kill like overkill. Very fun. But yeah, so the people were excited about it, and maybe they'll have me put solar on the new house, and that'd be nice. We'll see. Actually, it wouldn't be nice because I really don't want to be on the roof anymore. But oh, there goes the filament. It's starting to go. I better let me get this thing switched over here. Ooh. It's gonna get stuck in that tube. I can guarantee it. Let's see here. We got. Is this Pet G here? Yes, it is. What's going on? There it goes. All right. Mm-hmm. Well, this is interesting. I don't know. Maybe I triggered something because it just. Whoa! Yeah. You can't pull it. You can't pull the. Here, we'll do this. It's thinking about it. There you go. Now we'll. It was getting hung up on the end of the spool. Yeah. So I was able to cut it, and it went sucked it through. It's gonna think about it for a second. And I think I'm just gonna let it just tell me that it's done. Sucking the filament through, and then we'll replace it. Otherwise, it'll be not happy, and I can. Ryan, what's the average payback to 0 point for saving what you invest in solar package for a typical residential? How many years? I would say around here, 100% payback is about 7 years. It but when I talk to my folks about it too, I've done the math and all that before on it, and that's kind of not a fair way to think about it. I don't think. And the reason I think that is because um, during that time frame, what to me is more important is when has it become cheaper to have gone solar than to not have gone solar. And that tipping point is about 4 years. Uh, so um, it it does about 4 years is that tipping point of where you're then paying less over that time frame than if you hadn't gone solar to begin with. And so anyway, yeah, it's interesting. That's how I've always looked at solar. Like I don't really look at it as a saving the earth type of thing. I look at it more from the investment and cost savings avenues of it. And so yeah, it's got to make sense. It'll be really interesting. I think with the big beautiful bill thing, you're going to see most small companies like mine um, go under, and they're going to disappear pretty quick because they don't have the 30% rebate tax credit to help people with the cost of it. And from my understanding, the last time paid any attention to that, because I really don't pay any attention to it because it really doesn't matter to me. But because I really at this point in my career, I have lots of gray. I don't like being on the roof anymore, and I'm a big fat pig. So I really don't like being on the roof. It's being on the roof is a young man's game. It's not a 50-year-old man, soon to be 50-year-old man's game. So that I prefer really to do service work at this point because one, you don't need permits. Permitting for solar is a pain in the nuts. Because you have electrical permits that you have to get, obviously, because you're connecting electricity stuff. But you also have to do a building permit too, because of how you're attaching to the house. So it can. I prefer to do the service work and stuff like that, and cleaning. I'm really starting to enjoy cleaning solar panels because I just bought a big rotating brush contraption a couple weeks ago to clean. I had to do a 280 panel array that I had to clean, and doing that by hand was not going to happen. So, oh yeah, ground mounts are the way to go. I'm actually trying to help a guy out right now. He wants me just to do all the paperwork and stuff for him and order the parts to install. So, yeah. Every time there's some sort of tax incentive or rebate for any such project, you don't qualify. Well, this you do. The federal ITC is everybody. It's 30 currently. It's 30% of the total installed cost is a tax return. It's not a deduction or anything like that. It's a 1-for-1 credit. So different states will and won't have credits available or programs available, but the federal ITC is everybody, every business, every residential person, all that stuff. So, oh yeah, John, you're 73 and still doing the roof thing. God bless you, man. There's just no way. I'm over 300 pounds. That's part of it. Another part of it is that I used to jump out of airplanes when I was in the military. And so my ankles and my knees and my back are all jacked up. I'm 2 inches shorter than when I joined the military due to that. And I think my wife still wants me to take the cat dog out. Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. I don't even know what I did with my phone. I did something with my phone. Oh, there she is. Hold on a second. But yeah, it's entertaining. Solar is a good thing. It's a stopgap though. Mm, all right. All right. Well, I've got to go take my dog outside real quick. So I'll be back in about 5 minutes if anybody wants to hang out. So if you don't, I completely understand. But I'll be gone for a couple minutes. Dog's got to poop. Excuse me. All right, man. Oh, dog has been pooped. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's go back here and um. Kenneth saying, what's your go-to filament brand, PLA or PETG? Really, most of the time, I use Creality. But Creality is interesting because they have like several different lines, and I don't know how they're different. Um, like they have a like a I don't know. On the box, it shows like 4 or 5 different ones. Let me see if I got a box. Oh, Reality, where are you? Is that one? No, that's Elegoo. Elegoo box. Sunloo box. Ooh, this. So anyway, the Creality stuff, I use Sunloo and Elegoo mostly, and but like with Creality, it's kind of weird. So they have what 4 different lines. They have an HP series, which I I don't know what is different from their CR series, which is what one is that I have there that just ran out. Then they have an HC series, and they have an Ender series, and it I don't know. It's like the same verbiage for each of the different things back here, but it doesn't really seem to make a difference. Um, it all seems to be the same stuff. So who knows? I guess somehow it's different, but it doesn't really seem that way. All right, that one just finished up. I gotta change that because now it's going to send a message saying, "Hey, you ran out of filament." Yeah, but the Grogu is part Ender or part Creality filament and part Sunloo filament. I don't know why it's doing that. It's like dancing or something. What's going on here? But they all seem to work pretty good. Let's see here. We got a. It's thinking about it. Resume. Now it's feeding, and it's off and running. Yep. All right, it's gone. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, PETG or PLA, it really doesn't make too much of a difference to me. But it's whatever I'm using it for. Like, um, if I'm using it for something that I know is going to be outside, I'll use PETG for sure. Like I just printed out. This is a cup holder that I've been working on and off. I know it seems kind of stupid to work on a cup holder on and off, but I printed out this cup holder before and was using it in my truck and in my wife's car, and it's for the Owala bottle because, of course, the cup holders in cars these days aren't big enough for people's drinks, and I had to. I made a cup holder for it, which was right here, and I had made it so that it would fit these bottles, not snug, but it would go in there. Well, now, I mean, yeah, you can't. Let's see here. Yeah, look. I mean, it's holding on. It's all the way at the top, so it shrunk being in the car, even though it is PETG. So I just printed this out the other day, and have this is a second one. So I have one in my wife's car and one in my truck. And so I increased the size of it some extra from what it was, and just to see if it will continue to shrink and cause a problem. But yeah, so I got to take that out tomorrow and throw it in her car. But yeah, it's fun times. But yeah, yeah, pretty much any of them are decent. So Elegoo, I go for the less expensive stuff. I really like Overture filament. Overture has always been really good. Hatchbox has always been great, but Hatchbox is a more expensive filament, but it always prints really nice. But yeah, so there's some good ones. Jack did a DIY solar install, ground level. Yep. So yeah, if you can put solar on the ground, it's the place to put it. It really is, especially like if you're up north where you can get snow. If it's on the roof, you got to wait for it to get above freezing so it'll melt off. But if you have it on the ground, you can go out there with a broom and knock it off and take advantage of the cold sun and cold weather, air, and direct sun to produce good stuff. So let's see here. What else we got here? Whew. 15 years climbing trees. Wow. 20 years with Pike Electric. I'm done climbing. Yeah, I don't blame you either. Man. Storage. Well, all right. So solar storage. There's multiple ways that you can do it. What I tell people though is, I mean, you can do batteries, but what most people do because it's more economical is not have any batteries whatsoever, and they do what is called strictly a grid tied system. So when you overproduce, all right, if you let's say, all right, you're out. I know you're retired, but let's just say you're still working, and so you leave the house and you go to work. Well, the house at that during the day is going to be generating more electricity than what it's using in most cases. And so what it's doing with that extra energy is providing the energy for the house, and the extra energy will go back out onto the grid using what we call net metering. So it's turning your meter backwards during that time frame. So then when you get home at night and you're cooking dinner and all that good stuff, you're using that net energy up before you have to start paying the power company again. For most folks, I usually suggest doing, if they can, some sort of gas or propane powered generator for the house instead of doing a battery. The reason that I usually suggest that is because of what they want to power and for how long they want to power it. Most people want the whole house generator, and a battery system that can provide enough power for the whole house is a lot. If you want to try to, if your installer is anywhere near reputable, they'll talk to you about how long you want it to be producing that energy for, and stuff like that. So without any sunlight, several days of energy storage. So for I usually talk to people about it, but most cases I suggest to get a just we do a gas generator if they want some sort of backup. Most of the time, most of the people that do the battery stuff around here are my preppers, and which I totally get. And we've done all kinds of different types of systems. I had one guy that I did a system for. Um, he had wired his house for 12 volt, like separately. He had a like a pole barn house that he built, a small pole barn house that actually had a basement. Really interesting to have a basement in a pole barn house. But when he was wiring up the house, he did, um, RV style 12 volt receptacles throughout the whole house too. So he could plug one in or the other, which if he had involved me at that point, I would have told him not to do that. Because a battery powered inverter can do 240. So it wouldn't have made sense for him to go back and put giant thick stuff in for doing the 12 volt. But we've done that. We've done the Tesla style power walls, the big lithium batteries that hang up on the walls. Um, the ones that I haven't put in any of the Tesla ones, but we did the LG, which was a similar type of style, and that was it's interesting. Those suckers are heavy. Um, Actually, I have to go and replace one right now because an inverter stopped communicating with it, and it killed the battery. So, but I've been fighting with the inverter company for 5 months. 5 months. I mean, it's stupid. Um, they haven't sent out the new inverter for it, so these people haven't had their backup power for 5 months because of that. And that's why I will say to everybody: if you do solar, and somebody says, "Here, do Solar Edge," do not do Solar Edge inverters on your house. I really don't think that company is going to be around that much longer. Um, so do not do Solar Edge. Oh, let's see here. Jack says I got 8 12-volt batteries from a cell tower backup system. Yep. Yeah. Uh, you know, let's see here. Buying off the grid. So for most of my customers, I offset between it's kind of funny. I offset between 30 and 80% of somebody's usage throughout the course of a year, and it really, I mean, it comes down to everything. Comes down to how much solar we put up on the roof. One, the orientation, their budget, and roof surface that's available. Because a lot of these modern houses like to have you got 10 different roof pieces all over the place, and you need some room to be able to put a panel on there. So it gets kind of difficult on some of these larger houses. Some of the small houses you're able to put more solar on because of you got the hip roof thing, and then they have like a smaller hip roof coming off of a bump out that's in the house and all this other stuff. I mean, it eats up all the roof space. And so anything from due west to due west, or due west to due east, is where we focus on, or I focus on. And it gets kind of crazy. But yeah, most of my folks will do between 30 and 80% of their usage um, on there. So yeah, batteries are just so expensive. That's why I usually suggest, if they want to back up, to do a gas one, because $10,000 on for batteries is 9 kilowatt hours um, of usage, and but you can do like a 20 kW gas one for that same size. So it gets kind of crazy. Fun times though. Uh, do, 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 do. Um, Let's see here. Work on all three. I've had to use connection adapters. I don't know on that one, Jr. I don't know enough about the Thunder. I've never used one of the Thunderbolts, so I don't know about that. Send a message to Dave or Steve. Those are the. I would say Dave specifically, uh, Dave Clackley, because he has used the Thunderbolt, because a friend of his has one, and he has the comm marker. So he would probably be your best bet for knowing what would be a good rotary that you could use for both of them. So ideal package would be whole house, heats on natural gas, and a solar package that yeah. So if you wanted backup, I would say do a natural gas generator, whole house generator. For a house, I think is what the size that you have. What I'm guessing in my head, you probably would end up with like a 22 kW system or 22 kW generator, and that would run your whole house or anything you want in your house. The thing a lot of people don't realize about um, like backup stuff is people want to run like they do every day, and that's what kills the whole battery thing. People that live off grid, they you got to live differently, and we're too used to living on the grid these days for most people to want to make the sacrifices that they need to live quote unquote off grid. So um, yeah, natural gas is good stuff though. Good stuff. Oh man, so it's going. Yeah, we're back there working. That's good to see. Oh, fun. Um, yeah, having a good time. Dog had to poop. Uh, run a Thunderbolt, but the rotary plug would be the issue. If you could look into a Pyburn or Rotoboss with the adapters, yeah, hey, well, with enough stuff, you can make just about anything work. Speak of Clack, and he'll show up. He's um, uh, like Joe Henry. Joe Hendry. You say his name and he will appear. Um, I believe in Joe Hendry. It's a wrestling thing. So. Oh, let me grab Grogu here. I'll show you guys a little more of Grogu. Oh no, Grogu lost an ear. My Timu Grogu. Watch me just drop this damn thing. It's pretty heavy. So here's just this is just how big this sucker is. I mean, look at it next to my melon. It's massive. Um, so the white, I mean, it's a good 6 kilograms of white altogether, and then I used 1 kilogram, took care of all the green, and there's this tan that I just used a little bit of, so that wasn't a whole lot, and the brown was another like part of a spool that I had, so it just happened to be the colors I wanted. But man, what a fun project this thing was. You can see in some of the pictures and all that there was like some gnarled up surfaces, and that was because of I just got too antsy and was pulling them off of the build plate before it had cooled. So the layers were separating when I was pulling them off. But Yeah, she turned out really good. It I got to build a stand for him. We're gonna. I'll look and see. Benny, you're working and listening. See, yep. Yep. Say his name and he shall appear. What's going on, Mr. Dave? But yeah. So there's the old Grogu. His eyes pop off. So yeah, those are the parts there. You can make him cross-eyed. Kind of makes him think. Looks like he's been watching the news all day. Makes him all cross-eyed. So, as I've used the Rotoboss on a Thunderbolt, and it's a beast. They also have a Chuck. Oh, sweet, very cool, very cool, very cool. Yeah, but this was fun. It was definitely fun. And here's the. I gotta set him down. Set him down here. Here's one of the arch pieces that. All right, Jack. We'll see you later, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. One of the arch pieces that had failed. I had two of these fail on me. The one didn't show up. I didn't mention it in the video. It's over here. This one. This one made me mad. So I was down at the beach when this one happened. And on the A1, this arch piece is a 20-hour print. I mean, and it's a little over half a kilogram of filament to make one of the arch pieces. And so the A1 was printing this guy off. Yeah. Just so you can see how much of it had actually printed and how much it had left to go. So it had like 4 hours left to go, 3-4 hours left to go. When it and it was getting to be bedtime. And so I knew that the amount of filament that was left on the spool wasn't going to make it. And so I thought to myself, you're going to do something smart. And you're going to stop the machine and you're going to switch the spool. That way, when you get up in the morning, it'll be done. And you don't have to worry about it stopping in the middle of the night and blah, 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 blah. Well, I stopped it. Well, actually, I didn't stop it. That was my mistake. Is that I didn't stop it. I just clipped the line of filament, and as it was feeding through the machine, I took the new filament and was feeding it behind it. So I mean, it only took like 5-10 minutes for it to get all the way through to the extruder. Well, as it was feeding down to the extruder, I didn't verify that it was continuing to feed into the extruder, and I went to bed. And so I woke up the next morning. The printer was like, "Hey, we're done," because the filament was past the filament runout sensor, but it wasn't all the way into the extruder. The part that I had clipped had actually broken off inside the extruder. So it felt like it was feeding all the way in there, and it wasn't. So it had just printed this. And I didn't have any tools with me. I didn't have the little, Allen keys or anything, so I couldn't take it apart. So like the last couple of days that I was down on location, I couldn't finish because of that one. But and then when I came back, this is the one that was in the video, and it had I was printing it out, and there was the power had gone out in the morning and was out for about a half an hour, and for whatever reason, my P1S isn't set up for power resume. or power loss resume. I thought it was just something that was always on there, but I guess not. And I haven't really looked to see how to turn that on. So I had two failures, and then I finally got a good one. And I tried to fix the second one, but I didn't like it, so I just printed out another one and said forget it. So, and it turned out worked out all right. So it was fun. Man, talking on and off for an hour and a half almost. That's pretty awesome. Uh, yes. So that's what I thought was the fix. Like I was just standing there and I was feeding it in, but I didn't. I didn't watch. What I should have done is I should have stopped it and unload and hit the button to unload the filament and just loaded in the new spool instead of clipping the old one. I should have just stopped it and had it unload, feed in the new one, hit load, and it would have been fine. But I thought I was being smart by just clipping it and just following it through, and that didn't work out. So, oh well. It didn't work out. It was fun though. I mean, it turned out in the end. But my little Timu Grogu one, this little guy, he's so awesome. Can you see the? Yeah, there you go. You can see the $100 bill. That's his ears. The other one fell off. It's over. Ouch! It's over there. But yeah, it's pretty funny. But just as a size reference, it's pretty awesome. I dig him. It was pretty fun. So there's some other ones I'd like to do. Um, I guess the short that I did on it for the video today is doing pretty good. The video not so much, but the short is doing well. But there's some cool a fun Lego style project that I would really like to do. But it's going to take a lot of filament to get it to do it. But so I don't know. We'll see. I might start designing some of it when I get the new computer going because this old computer it's such a mess to deal with at this point. Um, it just doesn't like anything. It doesn't like buttons being pushed or anything. You click on something and you're waiting about 10 seconds for it to actually click. So, but air out of filament and then reloaded new spool. Yeah, so that was the other thing that I could have done was just wait for it to go, but I thought I was being smart and just trying to follow it up, kind of like the way that the infinity flow thing works, where it's putting a little bit of pressure on to the filament, like it just keeps going. But you know, it happens that way. Um, yeah, that infinity flow. Oh, so there's my son's printer is right there now. So I took it apart and got it back working, and that's why it's sitting all crooked on there because I have it, the plug I have it wrapped under around the front of that table. Man, this room's a mess. I gotta fix this, but yeah, so I got to take it back upstairs for him, but we'll do that tomorrow. And oh yeah, so I think I told everybody before about the a couple weeks ago we had the big giant rainstorm and it was raining behind this wall because water was coming through the one piece of conduit, and so we had another big rainstorm today come through, and I was panicking. I was like, oh no, it's gonna come through there again. I've just now gotten it all dry, everything's been good, but it's gonna start raining through there again. So I like yanked all the stuff out of this corner here so I could get to I have a hole in the wall here that I can access where it comes in the wall at. And, yeah, so I just kicked everything out of the way. But this little or is it at right there? That's a bag of the lights for the scoreboard. So, and this is all lights for the scoreboard, all the other bits and pieces for the scoreboard. So we need to get that done. Kenneth says that he was surprised by how many views you had on your Elegoo unboxing. Hey man, yeah, well, that Centauri Carbon is popular. People like seeing, and evidently, Elegoo has been making improvements on it as they've put it out, and or continue to put out that printer, and so people are watching the newer unboxings to see the improvements that they've made. Like they've put in a new light, they've rerouted some wiring and stuff like that, and all that. So people are interested in it, and it's a killer little printer. Not little, but it's a killer printer, especially for the price point. Like I said in the Bamboo long term review I had, which I kind of wish I would have added more to it, but I was just kind of ad libbing as I was talking, but I didn't really organize my thoughts. But you know, if I were to buy another printer, it would be that Elegoo Centauri Carbon, because most of the stuff that I print is one color, and they're coming out with a multicolor unit thing. It's supposed to be out in the third quarter, and even if it doesn't come out in the third quarter, if because they took their time putting out the Centauri Carbon, if they push it back, I mean, it's going to be worth it to wait for it. So, but it's a great printer. I would be all about one if I needed another printer of that size. So there may be something showing up here pretty soon. We may be doing an unboxing video in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see. But it's not a Centauri Carbon, I can tell you that. If it shows up. If it shows up. So, but unfortunately, yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying anything else about it. We'll see. We'll see. But, oh, yeah, pretty crazy. But yeah, the Centauri Carbon's a good printer. A couple people around me have bought them, and I've seen them on Facebook Marketplace. There was one that somebody recently, like a week ago, had it up on there, and they had bought it and they hadn't unboxed it or anything, and they were like, we've had it for a month and I haven't even opened the box. I'm just going to sell it. So they were selling it for $300, which really is a deal because you're, with shipping, it's like $340 or something like that, around here anyway. And I was like, I really don't need that printer, but I said, hey, would you sell it for $250? They did not bother to respond, and I was like, well, at $250, I would have bought it, but it would have been worth it for me to go ahead and just face the wrath of buying another printer. But I could tell myself no at 300. So it especially if this other thing shows up, it's stupid. It's stupid. Ryan does not make very good financial decisions sometimes, but other times it can be interesting. So we'll see. Hopefully, the next week or two, we'll find out. Hopefully. So, but yeah, unboxing computer parts. Yeah, my son and I did that today with his stuff. He wanted to, he turned 13, and so he wanted to build a gaming computer with his birthday money. So he asked all the family people, hey, please don't get me any gifts. Just give me money towards my my printer or my computer if you want to give me something. So we gave him money, and his grandparents gave him some money and stuff like that. And so after in that, and along with dipping into his savings, we went ahead and ordered some parts for him. Way too many parts, but whatever. Uh, Hopefully he won't brick it like he bricks every other computer that he's ever laid his hands on. These kids, they play Roblox and all this other crap, and then they like these. I don't know, people here download this skin, and they download a skin and it's some virus, all this other crap. So it's like, dude, you can't do that. But he hasn't figured that out yet. But, so let him brick his own money. I'm not paying for another computer for him. So it's all good. Whatever. Man, that dragon's looking good there in the background. Lightning, dragons, and castles. I think we need something else back there. But maybe next time I do one of these wasting time things, we'll do that. Get a new view. So, but man, yeah, this office is a mess. I'm looking at it in the background here, and oof, oof, yeah, pretty funny. But, so it's anybody else got anything else going on that we should yammer on about for a little bit? Um, let's see here. As far as in the Saturday shows are concerned, we're having fun. Having fun with those. In what, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, 3 weeks. I have to look. Where are we at here? So tomorrow is August 1st. Yeah. Hmm. 1, 2, 3. I think 3 weeks. Might be 4 weeks from now. One of the weeks I won't be here. My birthday is on the 19th of August, and we'll be in Florida that week. So, but I don't know what day we leave or / come back. So we may leave the 16th. We may leave before that. We may leave after that. I'm not really sure. But somewhere in that neighborhood, I'm sure we'll have a show. Maybe we'll have to get a guest host for that week to keep our weekly viewers happy. But yeah, it's not a rock concert this time. Oh, the Farrah Fawcett poster background. Oh, maybe we should go put that up there. I'll do that next time for you, Mr. JR, because my channel members get everything that they ask for. I try. Yeah, Farrah Fawcett would be pretty good. And I've shown you guys this is my mouse pad, which is a HueForge. It's the HueForge of Vanna White that I printed out a while back of her in the Mint 400 outfit. So my tabletop is glass, and so the infrared stuff doesn't work well on it. So I use the backside of the HueForge to do that. So, but maybe we'll get a Farrah Fawcett picture for the background of the show, or maybe we'll use Vanna White. I don't know. We'll figure it out. The problem with having a nice background, maybe we should put Sydney Sweeney. But the problem with having a nice background is that you want to see the background. And we could just get rid of me like this and just look at the at the dragon the whole time. Probably be better off. Yeah, we just sit there and look at the Sydney Sweeney commercial. Um, that'd be all right. We can make that work. And there's um, oh no, that'll be a subject that'll get me in trouble. We'll keep out of there. Ogling, yes. I'm almost 50. I think I'm allowed to ogle until I'm 50. I don't know. I think when I'm hit 50, that's when I'm supposed to get my midlife crisis and I'm supposed to go buy a Corvette. But I'm not buying a Corvette. I like smaller cars. The toy that I would like to have right now, like as a midlife crisis car, would either be a Pontiac Solstice or a Saturn Sky. I love those cars. I sold Pontiac and GMC and Buick at the time that the Pontiac Solstice came out, and I think that's why I like it so much. But man, what a fun car that was! I got to drive um, some of them around like right as they were coming out. I was in love with them. They drove so nice, and the my boss, me and my boss at that time did not get along at all, and I think that was the undoing of me working at a car dealership. But not too long after the Solstice came out, the Washington Nationals were doing some event, and they wanted red solstices. They wanted a whole bunch of red ones on the field, and so we had gotten a red one in, and I kept on saying to my boss, I'm like, hey, I'll do that event. I'll go do it. I'll do it. But he kept on he kept pushing me off about it, and was I think he wanted his buddy, that was another salesman, to be the guy that went. And the day of the event, he comes to me and goes, "So you're going to take this car down, right?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." I was a single dad. I had two young girls there at the point. I'm not. I can't make that time commitment on a couple hours notice. So he got kind of pissed off at me. I would have loved to have done it, but hey, I was after him for a couple of weeks to be able to go down there and do the thing, and he wouldn't give me the okay. So I was like, all right, well, you're stuck doing it now, pal. So have a good one. I don't think I worked there very long after that, but whatever, whatever. What's JR saying? My wife had her midlife crisis that manifested itself as a Land Cruiser. Oh, there you go. Hey, they're nice. I've heard. Oh, not Land Cruiser, but Land Rover. Somebody's finally the making a kit that I thought that should have been made a long time ago. All the YouTuber auto guys, um, they love the Land Rovers, but they're garbage. The engines are always blowing up and overheating and everything else. But the rest of it looks beautiful. I'm like, man, why doesn't somebody LS swap one of those? Like do an LS swap kit on it or something like that, and that'd be pretty awesome. I guess somebody's actually putting out a kit now, or finalizing a kit to do LS swaps on Land Rovers, and that'll be pretty sweet. The one channel I watch JR Go. He's another one of the Wichita guys, like we were talking about earlier. He's got a Land Rover that's like waiting for it. He bought one for like $1,000, and it's in really good shape, just blown motor, and so he's going to be dropping an LS into it and having a good old time. So that'll be pretty fun to watch. He's a good watch. I enjoy watching him. He does near daily videos. Every other day or so he's putting out one. Yeah, Land Rovers are awful, but they look nice. you know, the mechanics on them are English. So, but the but yeah, he does all kinds of stuff. But mainly, he did get into it for a little while. The problem with the automotive, all right. So the problem with the automotive influencers on YouTube is they get popular, they start getting a good amount of money from YouTube or whatever, and then they buy cars that are no longer relatable, and like you that becomes an issue. That starts alienating their people. Oh yeah, super fast Matt all the time. I love watching his videos. I love his dry wit. He's right up my alley. Um, yeah, he's got the offer. We've talked about before on the Saturday show. We've talked about his off road Viper, which is an awesome machine. I would love to have that. Uh, but he also has, or going sideways. I got introduced to Superfast Matt because he has a motorcycle powered. I think it's a um, Honda 2000. It's not an S 2000. It's not one of the new ones. It's an old Honda, and but a little convertible thing, and it's got a some big motorcycle motor in it, and just screams. But that's how I got introduced to him. But anyway, so yeah, so uh, the issue with these a lot of these YouTubers is that they'll they get big and then they start buying expensive cars like the Lamborghinis and whatever to rebuild and like when you see them buy the first one, it's like, man, this is pretty cool, like they're getting to experience this. But then they just keep buying, like they've leveled themselves up to a point where they're no longer relatable to the average Joe Schmo. And, you know, it's hard to enjoy watching somebody work on on some car that you have. I mean, realistically, I'll never buy, or would never get to enjoy myself. Like the Lamborghinis and crap. Uh, I'm never going to buy a Lamborghini, but I might buy a Blazer, like one of the new Blazers, And they were doing like who is it? Oh man, there's these two guys, these two brothers down in I think they're in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Goon Squad. Loved watching their videos for a long time, but then they started like I saw a thumbnail the other day for some Rolls Royce, and it's like I don't care about a Rolls Royce. I cared about you guys doing a Toyota Supra, or oh yeah, Matt Armstrong. He's the same way, and I was really big into watching him. Not so much anymore because they're buying all these Lamborghinis and stuff that I just don't relate to, and it seems like so many of them are. There's a VW guy. I love my old VWs. There's a shop local to me, and the guy is very successful at it. He's I think he's a couple years younger than I am. But he has a Lamborghini. I don't. I think it's a Gallardo or something like that. But he has the Porsches and stuff like that. But just hearing how much of I mean, they're beautiful machines, but they're utter piles of garbage. Like they're built so badly. And it's like, man, I'd rather go buy a Corvette. Like they're not as special as a Lamborghini, but I can go buy parts for it. And the parts aren't going to be nearly as expensive, and I won't feel bad about driving it, because that's why I want to have I would want to have a special car like that, would be to drive the thing. But yeah, like with the, I don't know. Well, in Hoovie's Garage is another channel that I watch, um, and he actually just put out a video like within the last 24 hours or so about that exact subject, about the flexing with the crazy expensive hypercars. Dude has um, a Bugatti Veyron. I mean, it's $1 million car, and me. Oh man, hopefully I'm still there. Uh, anyway, yeah, it's still saying I'm live. My whole screen just went blank for a few seconds. Uh, yeah. Dave's. I'm not seeing any Lambos in my future. I'm just hoping to be able to pay my insurance and retirement. Yeah, exactly. And but anyway, so yeah, like he was he I guess was selling his, some a Ferrari that he has, and and this Bugatti, uh, and it's for the exact same reason. Like he didn't say that well, actually, I think he did say it in there, that it's just those cars aren't relatable to most of his audience. Buying some, he did have this cool Ferrari. I forget which one it was, but it had like over 100,000 miles on it, and somebody had the seats recovered in like some crazy like 80s looking fabric and stuff like that, and he would just go rip it around and go do stuff that you weren't. It was at the time he bought it, I think it was like a $30,000 car, like, and a $30,000 Ferrari is much more of a relatable car with all of its quirks than $1 million Bugatti. And so I think he's kind of realized that, and is getting rid of his super exotic one. Those two I think are gone, and he's going back more to the hoopties, and fixing stuff that gets a lot more people watching. But I mean, it's cool. It would be pretty awesome to have a car like that, but I don't know. It's not something that I would ever really. I wouldn't be too interested in owning it, because just hearing about the nightmares of trying to fix something like that. Half the stuff is an engine out to fix a vacuum leak, and that's like $20,000 or $30,000. Yeah, nope, nope. I have no desire to do that. But I love cars, But I like the cheap shit that is just fun to drive. Uh, but I think that's why I like I like my small weird cars. I would love to find out how I could import this Renault. The Renault has a really small car that they've been producing for like 10 years. The closest place to here that you can drive one is in Bermuda. It's called the Twizy. It's a funky little car, two-seater car. You sit in line with each other, so like the passenger sits right behind you, and it's a little electric car. Has scissor doors on it when it has doors, and stuff like that. Really funky. Realistically, if you could buy one and bring it here, you could probably do it really cheap. Like, uh, yeah. So there's like that. That would be a great fun car. The other thing I'd really like to own would be a K car. And the K cars, if you don't know what they are, they're in Japan. You have different regulations on your car sizes, or key car, K key, something like it. It's KEI, and that's the class of vehicles. So like they have dimensions that they have to be within, and engine sizes. Like it can't be above a 600cc engine, and all this other stuff. And now those cars are starting to get over 25 years. So you're able to import them here into the United States. And so there's like little pickup trucks, little vans. There's cars. There's some of them are cars. But the van is what I want. I really would love to have a van, to be, so I'm not driving my big giant truck everywhere. But I want a van for the dogs. Dogs could ride in the van. But well, currently there's one dog, but there might be another one at some point here. But yeah, like a little K car, running it down the back roads. Like they top out at like 65 miles an hour or something like that. So you don't really want to take it on the highway very often, because you get run over. And they are small, and there's no airbags in them. They probably don't. Most of them, I don't think, have anti-lock brakes or anything like that. So, but they're fun, and stuff like that to me makes me more excited than to be petrified driving some crazy exotic car. And I think it puts more smiles on people's faces when they see something weird and oddball. Um, be a fun car. But I think that's also why I like the Pontiac Solstice. It's a small little sports car. It doesn't need to go 300 miles an hour. And fun to drive, and you could get it pretty cheap. I think you can pick one up now for like $6,000 or $7,000 or something like that with some miles on them. But it was a parts bin car, so parts for it are pretty cheap, except for body parts. But yeah, they're pretty awesome. I love cars. Always have loved cars. The closest thing to an actual sports car that I've ever owned would be a VW Corrado, and it was turned up when I bought it. Had a Corrado was VW made them from like 89 to 05, I think was when they were out. And I had a 90, which was the first year that they were in the US. But it had a supercharger from the factory on it. And the supercharger on mine had been rebuilt by a previous owner and had been cranked up. And man, that car was fun. What a go-kart it was to drive. It really saddened me when I sold it, but it was a fun car to have. Definitely enjoyed that. But yeah, love machines. But I do have right now. I have a dune buggy body that I've had for 15 years or so, down in the shop, and I after I know I got too many projects. Um, After we get a golf cart or two out of the way, it'll be the dune buggy's turn, and we'll get that thing going on the road because I need to before my knees and back are too bad to be able to get in and out of the damn thing. So, but it'd be fun. Yeah, JR has been in the car business his entire life and doesn't get excited at all about the exotics. I mean, they're beautiful machines, absolutely beautiful. They are just like so many of them just are not built well, and I mean maybe it's because they're so specialized, that hand built and stuff like that. So there's no consistency in it. But I don't know. They're pretty wild. My parents, my stepmother, who passed away a couple years ago, when I was in high school. Well, actually, from when she met my father until I was in high school, sometime, she had these two cars. It was a '74 450 SL Mercedes, which was fantastic car to drive. I absolutely loved driving that car, when I got the chance to. Uh, Very saddened when she sold that. But then they were supposed to put this other car in the will for me. So it was supposed to be mine. And it started out, I'll tell you what it was here in a second, but it started out having a the starter went out on it. And then so they pushed it into the garage there at the house, and then it sat and it sat. I actually, in knowing or being around this car for, I'd say a good 10 years or so, I got to ride in it twice. And I remember those rides specifically. But man, I remember my dad. My dad pulled up to my mom's house driving it the one day, and I was just so excited. Like, I didn't even say goodbye to anybody. I just got in the car. I was so excited to be able to actually ride in it. It was a 67 E-Type, Jaguar E-Type, primrose yellow with green leather. Oh no, it was black leather interior. The 450 SL had the green leather interior. But man, the engine sound and looking out over that giant hood. Oh, it was that was a drive that I mean, here it is, almost 35 years later, and I still remember riding that car. That was, what a machine. But yeah, they they knew how much I loved that car, and man, I got so upset when they got rid of it, because it was in in the garage, and just was sitting there and needed more and more work, and they got rid of it, and it broke my heart when they sold that. Because if I would ever had that car, I would never have gotten rid of it. I would have sold children to be able to keep that car, because it was just it. I think it's one of the most beautiful cars ever built. Um, yeah, that was an awesome machine. But yeah. Anyway, so but the 450 SL, whoa, what a fun car that was to drive. There's actually a guy in Hagerstown, which is the town near me, that has one that they've had for sale forever. Uh, and I don't know how much they want for it. I've never stopped to actually look at it. It's a dark red one, but I don't want to stop and look at it, because I will figure out how to buy it. And I know it doesn't run because it's been sitting in the same spot for 4 or 5 years at this point in their driveway. But man, I would love to have one of those again. That was a fun car. Very comfortable to drive. It's actually what I took. It was kind of very privileged to be able to. That's what I took my driver's license in, and the reason that I took my driver's license test in that car was because it was much smaller than the other cars that we had available to us at that time. My dad's car at that point was some big giant beast of a car, and so I was like, "Can I take my license in that one, because it's smaller?" And in Virginia, you had to like do all kinds of driving and stuff like that out on the main roads for your test. And I was like, a smaller car would be really much nicer for me to be able to do this in. So they let me do it in the little 450, and yeah, it was fun. But yeah, what a great machine! Absolutely fun. Oh, but now we still got to get the Zagato going. Um, yeah, I all I need to do is put the rear end together and put it back in, and then see what the next problem is that pops up that will prevent me from driving it. But it should go in there. It'd be pretty good. Um, it's a that that won't be anything other than just a little toy for um, you know parades and stuff like that. But it would be cool to get it actually functioning back on the road. Uh, having Having an electric though would be pretty fun. I got to my parents when they were in Hawaii. After I got out of high school and all that, my stepmother, my dad, they moved. My stepmother was Hawaiian. She was Native Hawaiian, and they moved back to Hawaii, and my dad a couple years ago, well, several years ago at this point, had throat cancer and stomach cancer, and so things weren't looking too good. So I went out there to spend some time out there, and they had a Nissan Leaf, and they were only about 3 miles away from the hospital, so it wasn't. I didn't get to drive it a whole lot, but um, man, driving an electric was which I looked forward to because one, I'm a car guy, and two, I like electrics. I think they're fun cars, and I know they have their place. Um, but it was nice living with one for a little while, for like the 3 weeks that I was there, and just being able to drive by the gas station and not have to stop. It was pretty cool. You can get home, plug it back in, it's fully charged next time you're going to go out somewhere. So that was a fun little car to drive. You can actually pick up Nissan Leafs right now, really cheap, really cheap. Because especially like the older ones, like a 2012 ish one, they didn't have the best. They didn't have any cooling or anything on the battery, so you got a lot more degradation on those batteries from there. But you can get one like in really good condition with like 60,000 miles on it, and for like 2 or 3 grand. It's wild. But my thought was, for a long time, for the dune buggy, was to pick up a Nissan Leaf and strip it and use the motor, the battery, and everything in the dune buggy, which I thought would be pretty awesome. That still may be something that is done to it, but probably not. Um, yeah, I don't know. Uh, that would probably just take more building work than what I really want to do to it at this point. At this point, I just kind of want to get it on the road and drive it. But yeah, that's a few projects away. We got to get the brakes done on the forklift. So I can move that thing around or sell it. And we have a couple golf carts that we need to get out of the way. And once we get those done, then we can play with the which we call it. So the dune buggy. But fun times, fun times. Oh, so well. Anybody else got anything they want to yak about? Want me to bullshit about? I don't know. I'm having fun. I kind of like just getting on here and just talking about nothing. But probably doesn't help the channel out at all. But 3D printing, 3D printing, 3D printing, laser, laser, laser. You know, I got to throw some keywords in there. I hope everybody likes the next one of these videos I'm doing for the that I'm working on here. It'll be a fun one. We'll see. The 5 3D printed things for the garage. People seem to like that video, so we're gonna do another one and see how that one does. If it does good, then we'll do another one. But yeah, it was fun. It printing away. Yeah, that one in the P1S, it's definitely growing. I don't know if it'll get finished with the spool that's on there, but it was another like partial spool. But I think the one that's on the A1 is not going. It's going to finish that print with more filament on there. So if it does, then I'll move that one over and just have just keep letting the P1S eat up all the half rolls. But that'll be a fun one. And then after that, I don't know what we'll do for some videos. I need to do some more laser videos with the Monport 60 watt, and I have some ideas on what to do with that one. So we'll figure that one out. The Ranger CNC is still out in the garage. It has more. I need to do some adjustments for the design stuff on it, and which has been tough because of this stupid laptop is just such a piece of garbage. So I'm kind of putting any more work on that on hold because of using Fusion and everything else and in VCarve. It's nearly impossible to do on this laptop anymore. So kind of putting a lot of the design stuff on hold until I get these new computer parts. So which being said, going back to the very beginning of me talking about on here 2 hours ago, I need to order the motherboard. So I think I'm just going to order the cheap one and be done with it. So yeah, Dave's got about 62 days left to go until you get to retire. That'll be pretty awesome. Retire from W-2 paying work and going to self-employment full-time influencer, Dave Clackley. No, that'll be good times. JR, if you're still out there, man, what are you doing with yourself now that you're retired? You were looking at some sort of business opportunity, I think, a couple weeks ago. But what else you been getting yourself into besides trouble? And yeah. Anyway, it's fun times, definitely. What else we got going here? I think that's about it, really. Saturday we're doing another show. There's been some good videos out this week. If you didn't watch us on Dave's channel, Dave Gatton's channel last night, we talked a little bit about the Onefinity Full 8 for a little while, and interesting machine. I'm interested in seeing where they go with that thing. I think I don't know. I think they should rethink even putting it out. To be honest with you, I don't think that's gonna. I don't know if maybe it'll do well. I don't know, but I don't really feel like it will do well. And I think that's just because I don't know who that thing is built for. But we'll see. We'll see as they do more work on it and stuff like that. The Redline controller is going to be interesting. I'm wondering if they're going to still offer the Masso, or if they're going to switch completely over to offering just the Redline. That'll be an interesting thing to see what path they follow on that, because so many of the other there's so many, you can go out and you can buy a Masso and put it on any machine. So PWN has the Dominator, which I haven't heard anything else on recently. But they were planning on using the Masso G3 Touch on that, and a few other machines out there use the G3 Touch, I think. Or maybe they were just adapting them or using it on their machines. But using the Redline one, it'll be interesting to see how well it does. It just would be nice if they'd figure out their wiring with that thing. Like, it would just be so much neater and more appealing to the eye if they would just put a box underneath the machine and run some just two cables up there to the controller itself. It would just clean it all up so much more. But I don't know. Whatever. You're paying that much for a controller. I would want it to be a little bit more tidy looking than having 8 wires going up into the thing. But that's just me, but I'm not buying one, so it doesn't matter what I think. Yeah. Well, if nobody else really has a whole lot going on they want to talk about, I mean, I guess we can go ahead and sign off and get out of here for the evening. Like I said, we'll be back on Saturday night, hanging out, yammering, talking, talking about the latest stuff that's out there. And we'll go for one from there. But I guess until then, I'll see you guys next time. I appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out with me. Um, just doing nothing. That's wasting some time. So thanks for wasting time with me. We'll see everybody on Saturday night. Peace out, sauerkraut.